everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it if you jump on here live here on this Tuesday evening. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. I want to start out today's video by saying thank you to everybody that jumped on here live in yesterday's video. My video yesterday probably would have been, I don't know, 15 minutes long, maybe. I'm guessing. Good evening, Kevin. Thanks for checking in, and you're right, as always. Go Tigers. Every day's a good day to be a Clemson fan. My video yesterday, I'm guessing, would have been 15 minutes, maybe. But I got so many comments and feedback during the video that I ended up going for almost an hour. And the majority of it was not me just rambling. It was me responding to all the comments I got. And that's why I always say leave a comment in the comment section, because I try my best to respond to every single comment as long as I believe it's from a real person and it's somebody talking logical. I'm not going to respond to a robot, and I'm not going to respond to somebody that just stops by and drops in stupid comments just to try to start something. But if it's a logical, real person, I try to respond to every single comment. So if you do that, I can have more videos like yesterday where I'm only going to talk for 10, 11 minutes, and then it goes for almost an hour just responding to the comments. But later on this week, we've got to talk about NXT's premium live event from Sunday. We've got to talk about AEW's pay-per-view from Sunday. And we've also got to start looking forward to Money in the Bank, which comes up a week from Saturday. Kanye, I did not go to college, but thank you for asking. I despised school, wanted to quit school when I was in 5th grade, so there was no way, no how that I was going to college. It was not happening. Hey there, Joe. Glad to have you here. So, Money in the Bank takes place 1 week from Saturday, so we've got to start talking about Money in the Bank. We've got to talk about NXT's premium live event from Sunday and AEW's pay-per-view from Sunday, and where I'll be refereeing at this Sunday. But today I want to talk some racing, because this past Sunday was, of course, Memorial Day weekend, but it's always the best day in motorsports if you're a overall racing fan, not just one type of racing. If you just like one kind of racing, well then, Sunday was nothing for you. And not much is happening in my world, Joe. Hopefully everything's going good in your world. But if you're just a racing fan in general and like all types of motorsports, then this past Sunday was the greatest day in motorsports. Now, I've, cut back big time since getting married and having kids, but I can recall many years ago when I was single, waking up at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning of Memorial Day weekend and watching the Formula One race, and then the Indy 500, and then the Coke 600. So you start watching racing at 6:30, 7 o'clock that Sunday morning, and it doesn't wrap up until 11:30 or midnight Sunday night. So you're talking about 17 or so hours straight of racing. I'm not going to talk about the Formula One race, but I do want to talk about the Indy 500, and I do want to talk about the Coca-Cola 600. But first, I want to talk about Major League Baseball a little bit, and I want to talk about the NBA a little bit. You know, the Braves finally got to 500. Hey there, prehistoric. Cooley, glad to have you here. Thank you for stopping by on this Tuesday night. All of you in the chat, make sure to give the video a like and a thumbs up. Hey there, Car Edits. Glad to have you here. And Joe, you enjoy the rest of your day as well. And thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you tell your friends, tell your family about the channel. And I'm not sure if Perusaurus is a word or not, Cooley, and I don't want to get on here and feel like an idiot and sound like an idiot saying words that I don't know if they're real or not, but Perusaurus does not sound like an actual word. And Joe, I have never played Fortnite in my life, so not only can I not add you, I can't add anybody because I have no idea what Fortnite is. If somebody put it in front of my face right now, you have to tell me what it was. I have no idea what Fortnite is. I'm assuming it's a game, but that's all I know. But the Braves finally got back to 500, and it didn't last long. They went right back below it, and now they're 2 games below it. It's a crucial week for the Braves because they've got 3 with the Phillies, and then they've got 3 with the Red Sox. Now, the Red Sox right now, their overall record is not good, but the Red Sox are a good baseball team. But the Phillies are in first place in the East, and the Braves are already 8 games behind them. So if you play this Phillies team starting right now and you lose 2 of 3 or get swept, your chances of winning the division in late May are pretty much already gone. You still got a small chance, but I would say it's a small chance. But you get swept by the Phillies, you could forget winning the division. But you know, this day and time with 3 wild card teams, the division really doesn't mean much anyway. It sounds good to say we won the division, but with 3 wild card teams and so many teams every year that either win the World Series or get there from the wild card spot, it tells you that the division really doesn't mean a whole lot. But they've got Acuna back now, and they've got Strider back now, but they're still just not playing very good. Oh, okay, so you're going back to dinosaur days there, Cooley. That's definitely before my time. So right now they've got a crucial 6-game stretch coming up with the Phillies and the Red Sox. One night they hit good, can't pitch. The next night they pitch good, can't hit. The next day they hit good, pitch good, and the defense is terrible. And the next day the starting pitchers are good, but the bullpen's terrible. They just can't get it all together. The Oklahoma City Thunder are only 1 win away from going to the NBA Finals. And thank you there, Cooley. I appreciate the good, kind words. And I promise you, I'm the same person in real life as I am on here. I'm not one of those people that has a YouTube persona and a YouTube personality. I don't believe in that. To me, that makes you a fraud. To me, that makes you two-faced. I believe in being the same person all the time. So I'm the same person in real life I am on here. I don't have no YouTube persona, no YouTube voice. This is me day and night, night and day. Doesn't change. So what you see on here is really truly what you get. I don't use no YouTube name, nothing like that. Thank you for subscribing, Cooley. I really appreciate that. I had a guy yesterday that came on here, Cooley, and him and I talked for a long time. And I always tell people, if you want to talk to me, I won't just talk to you on here. I'll talk to you on Facebook as well. And the reason why I say Facebook is because I don't have any other form of social media at all. I don't do Instagram. I don't do Twitch. I don't do Pinterest. I don't do X. I don't do any of those. But if you're on Facebook, you can send me a friend request on Facebook and I will chit chat with you on there as well about anything. It can be sports related, wrestling related, it can be jokes. I don't care. I just enjoy talking to people as long as they talk normal and don't just say stuff to get crap started, but actually try to carry on conversations, I will talk to anybody. But the Thunder went up 3 games to 1 last night. Now, the Thunder won games 1 and 2, but the T Wolves come back and blew them off the court in game 3. Then Thunder got game 4 last night, so they're 1 win away from going to the NBA Finals. The Pacers lead the Knicks 2 games to 1. They've got game 4 in that series coming up here in just a few minutes. And I always talk about how no matter who your team is, no matter what sport it is, if they're winning, you better enjoy it because it's not going to last forever. I don't care how good your coach is, how good your team is, it's going to come to an end. It's not going to last forever. And the NBA is a perfect example because we know that the NBA is a superstar driven league. And if you don't have a superstar, you're just not going to win. But just because you have a superstar doesn't mean you will win. If you look at the NBA right now, going back to 2019, hey there, Austin. Glad to have you here. So this year will be 2025. So that's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 7 years. In the last 7 years, we're fixing to have the 7th different NBA Finals champion. Now, any of the 4 teams left could win it, but any of the 4 teams left have not been one of the last 6 champions. So no matter who wins it, whether it's the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, or the Pacers, we're going to have our 7th different champion in 7 years. I'm fantastic, Austin. Thank you for asking. 2019, we had the Toronto Raptors. 2020, the Los Angeles Lakers. 21, the Milwaukee Bucks. 22, the Golden State Warriors. 23, the Denver Nuggets. And, of course, last year was the Boston Celtics. So we're fixing to get our 7th different champion in 7 years. So that's proof, even if you've got a superstar, you still may not win. But each team on that list had a superstar the year they won the NBA Finals. And I will watch it sometime. Austin may not be tonight, but I will watch it sometime. Can't miss NXT. NXT, and I've said this for probably 2 years, to me is better than Raw, better than SmackDown, better than AEW. So if I'm only going to watch one wrestling show, NXT would be the one that I'd make sure I watched. But I personally think the winner of the Western Conference Finals wins the whole thing. I think the Thunder and T-Wolves both are better than the Knicks or the Pacers, but I could be wrong. That's just how I feel about it right now. But the Celtics won it last year, and everybody thought they had a dynasty. And according to some of the NBA talk, their run might come to an end. There's talk of basically half their team not being back next year. But of course, we'll have to sit back and wait and find out whether that's true or not. But on to some motorsports. This past Sunday was the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. Of course, it gets cut short to Indy 500. Hey there. It says Dad. I'm going to assume that's my daughter and not one of my twin boys. But if it is one of you boys, hey there. Hopefully it's all 3 of you. Hopefully my wife is tuned in as well. So thank y'all for jumping in the comment section. Now, you have to go back and look at the updated Indy 500 results because the guy that finished second place Sunday ended up getting disqualified, and he got credit for, I believe, a 31st place finish, which is why I didn't talk about this yesterday, because there was a lot of talk about would he be disqualified, and if so, where would he finish and all that kind of stuff. So he got credited, I believe, with a 31st place finish. But Alex Palou came home with the win, followed by David Malukas, Pato O'Ward, Felix Rosenquist, Santino Ferrucci, Christian Rasmussen, Christian Lundgaard, Connor Daly, Takuma Sato, and Elio Castro Neves rounded out the top 10. Now, if I was ever going to save up money to go to one huge sports function, whether it was WrestleMania or SummerSlam from the wrestling world, the Super Bowl from the football world, the national championship from the college football world, the national championship in college basketball, or the World Series in Major League Baseball, or a huge motorsports event, I would choose the Indy 500. First of all, you can drive to Indianapolis and drive back home same day, so you ain't got to worry about a motel room unless you want to, which you don't have to. You can easily get up Sunday morning early, make the drive up there, and then drive back home as soon as the race is over with, which is probably what I would do to avoid the motel room. But it's been around forever. Hey there, Batty. Glad to have you here. And everybody, I don't know anybody that's personally been, but stories I've heard on the radio and in the motorsports world and articles I've read over the years in magazines and different websites, everybody that goes says it's a phenomenal event, even if you're not a huge racing fan, or even better, a huge Indy car racing fan, that it's just an event you have to go to because of the pageantry and the spectacle. It's basically the World Series. It's basically the Super Bowl, the WrestleMania of motorsports. So if I was ever going to go to a national sporting event, not local, it would be the Indy 500. And thank you for subscribing, Batty. I appreciate it. Tell your friends, tell your family about the channel. We talk college football, college basketball, Major League Baseball, college baseball, NBA, talk some racing, of course, some wrestling, and then I try to do a top 10 countdown every week, and sometimes those top 10 countdowns aren't even about sports at all. If memory serves, last week's top 10 countdown was about cars. I could be wrong, but I think last week's top 10 countdown was about cars. I did top 10 countdowns on movies, music, vacation spots, candy, holidays. So my top 10 countdowns are not always about sports. I try to do about half and half from the sports world and the entertainment world. That way it gives everybody a break from the sports world if you're not a diehard sports fan that sometimes wants to hear about stuff that's not sports related. And then Sunday for the Coca-Cola 600, we had Ross Chastain come home with the win. Now, it was Ross Chastain's first win of the year, and he won the second biggest event in NASCAR behind the Daytona 500. And Ross Chastain started in 40th place out of 40 drivers. And he's the first driver to start dead last and win the race since Bobby Allison in 1969. And Batty, thank you for asking. I usually go live tonight. It was a little bit early, and then yesterday, because of the holiday, I was home, and I was on here live, I guess, 2 o'clock, somewhere along in there. But generally, more often than not, I'm on here between 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time and 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, it can vary. I work part-time in radio, so when high school football starts, I'll be covering high school football for the radio station on Friday nights, and I may not get home till midnight or so, sometimes a little after, and I usually go live right after that, but I feel like it's Friday night, and a lot of people are still up on a Friday night. And then I'm in the wrestling business, so a lot of times on Saturdays, I don't get home till 11:30 or midnight. So a lot of times on Saturdays, I do one late as well. If I have a wrestling show somewhere out of town that's not local and I'm out late. If it's too late, sometimes if I drive a real long way for wrestling and I get home at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll just skip a video. I know nobody's up 2 o'clock in the morning to watch a YouTube video. So if there's ever a time on a Saturday night there's not a video, that's why. I'm traveling to a wrestling show somewhere. And I don't want to do one before I go because then it's 3 or 4 o'clock and it's a Saturday and people may not be home. But generally, more often than not, at least 4 to 5 times a week, I'm on here between 8 o'clock Eastern Time and 10:30 Eastern Time. So, Batty, depending on where you are and what time zone you're in, hopefully that helps you out. But if you subscribe to the channel and click the bell, you ain't got to worry about what time I go live, because if you subscribe to the channel and click that bell, whenever I post a video, as soon as the video is posted, your phone or tablet, ever how you watch the channel, will alert you that, hey, Ref Brandon's live right now, and you can jump on anytime, but it's generally between 8 o'clock and 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast. So Ross Chastain, first driver in 56 years to start dead last and win the race. William Byron dominated the race, but Ross Chastain picked up the win in a backup car as well, which made his win even more impressive. Kyle Larson, for the second year in a row, tried the double of the Indy 500 and the Coke 600, and he crashed in both of them. So I'm hoping, since he had bad luck last year and bad luck this year, he doesn't try again. I really don't know what the benefit is to pull off the double. Batty, I started YouTube in March of 2021. So this past March made it 4 years. I was late to the party. I know a lot of people started YouTube back in like 2009, 2010. But Batty, honestly, when I started the channel, and I've said this many a times, numerous times, I never had any hopes and dreams. Hey there, B Luck. Glad to have you here. I never had any hopes and dreams of doing this for a living and making money off YouTube and quitting my job. That was never my goal, which is why I started so late. Because my wife and I got married in 2011. Hey there, Queen Kiki. Glad to have you here. And when my wife and I got married, YouTube, even though it was around back in 2011, was not on my radar at all. Because to me, when I do something, I feel like you have to be dedicated to it. And I knew that we do so much and stay involved so much and stay so busy that back in 2011, I might have could have posted one video a week, maybe. And I knew that with there being millions and millions and millions of people doing YouTube, that if you just do one video a week, you're not going anywhere. So I thought, why waste the time? But then we had our daughter, and then we had our twins, and then we moved into the house we're in now, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I start it? If I can't post every day, I can post about every day, and I'm not going to have a channel where I focus only on one team or one sport, because if you only like one sport or one team, there are many avenues on YouTube that you can go to channel-wise and get all the talk you want of that team you like or that sport you like and forget about everything else. So I knew that if I got on here and tried to focus on one sport or one team, it wasn't going to work, because there's just so many other avenues that have been around a lot longer than I have that focus on that one thing. So I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about all the major sports, and I might even talk about some of the smaller sports. Every now and then, I'm going to talk wrestling. I'm going to do countdowns where I talk about anything and everything. When me and the family go on vacation, sometimes we're going to post videos about our vacation. I'm going to tell dad jokes. I'm going to have everything on my channel. And it's took a while to grow. It's taken time. But I have not made a dime on it, and that's perfectly fine. Now, if I had the intention of starting a YouTube channel and making a living on YouTube, then I'd have got on here, and within 6 months, I'd have said, piss on this. But when I started the channel, I started it as a way to talk sports because I love sports, as an avenue to talk sports and meet people through the live chat, which is what's worked. If the day ever comes where I make money on it, great. But when I started the channel, that was not why I started the channel. It's just because my wife does not like sports at all. So when we're together, I don't talk about it. You know, why am I going to talk about something that she can't have any input in because she doesn't like it? So instead of torturing her and talking about something that I know she doesn't like, I just don't talk about it around her. So my avenue when I'm home to talk sports is to get on here. And I go live so that if people want to comment back to me, they can. And Batty, good luck with your channel. Message me sometime if you ever get on Facebook and tell me what your channel is, and I'll be more than glad to check it out. William Byron comes home second. Chase Briscoe third. AJ Allmendinger fourth. Brad Keselowski rounded out the top five. And 6 through 10 was Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, Ryan Priest, and Noah Gregson. So Ross Chastain picked a good week to get his first win of the year. And honestly, that team, all three of those drivers have just underperformed and not really showed consistent signs of speed since about early last year. So maybe Ross Chastain winning will turn that team around. I don't know, but maybe it will. And that was the first race for Amazon Prime. Of course, they only get 5 races, and that was the first one. The way they've got the schedule made now that there's 4 different networks involved, they've got it to where all 4 networks get to carry one major race. Fox, of course, gets Daytona 500. Amazon Prime got the Coca-Cola 600. And I believe when they jump over to TNT, it's just in time for the July 4th weekend race. And then, of course, NBC wraps up the season, so they get to carry the championship race. So all 4 networks get one huge NASCAR sporting event. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. But let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What do you call a cow with a twitch? Beef jerky. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.